Climate change is real, and it's happening now. That's the message these protesters wanted the entire nation to hear. Some people skip work and even school. They want global leaders to start doing something about the pollutions they think are causing climate change.
This isn't something that we should be fighting for as children. This is something that should have already been solved. And so our message from this strike is that we're not going to go to school that's supposed to prepare us for a future if a future doesn't exist.
There were rallies all across the country and in a number of nations across the world. Nightsound's Angelina Salcido is here. We know that climate change is having an impact because it's getting hotter around the entire world. I mean, Europe had a heat wave in July that shattered records.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And we can actually see some of those effects right here in Tampa Bay. We're going to take a look at some of those for you. Heat is the very first thing that we're going to take a look at. Hotter temperatures are the new normal for people here in Florida and a growing threat. More than 620,000 people in the state are vulnerable to extreme temperatures. We did some research and found that we're having more heat waves, and it's forecast to get much worse, up from the current 10 days a year to more than 80 by 2050. You guys are actually taking a look at that right now. Another issue is the coastal flooding. 3.5 million people in the state of Florida are at risk from the rising seawater. I want you to take a look at a picture right now. You will see images like this from Miami. This is what it looks like right now. And if you take a look at it maybe in a few years, take a look at what it looks like there. It is incredible. Actually, it's something that you probably can't even imagine.
Yeah, and we were talking about this before the show. I was kind of saying those are extremes.
Yeah.
And that's a prediction that says, in 2050 is going to be like this. But what I can say here is, I hear a lot of folks saying, some folks say that I'm seeing it, some folks say we're not seeing it. Right. We're measuring it.
Yeah.
That's the whole hockey stick. We've been measuring the temperatures, and it's not that it's getting warmer, it's the rate at which it's getting warmer. That's what that hockey stick thing is all about. This, what you just talked about, comes on the heels of a report that came out today, or this week I should say, that had the warmest northern hemisphere for the summer. That's June, July, and August. From the equator northward was the warmest on record. Now, if you look at the north central U.S., it was actually average and a couple spots below average, but overall, the whole northern hemisphere was warmer. There's Europe that they were just talking about with the dark reds, by the way, are the record warmth. You can see some out in the ocean, some in Mexico, and then, of course, up near the poles, too. That's where we start to see the ice melting, and that's when you start talking about coastal flooding. The more ice you melt, the higher the sea level can go. Well, we're at about a minimum. This is the time of year where we start to see the ice come back up, but you can see way down here is where we are, guys. The average is there. So let's hope it gets real cold this winter and we build more ice.
Interesting, Bobby. Thanks so much for explaining that for us. Now,